McLaren is facing a tough challenge in the final races of the season. Despite the FIA initially ruling their rear wing legal, the team now has to make changes due to pressure from Red Bull and Ferrari. This has been a hot topic recently, with Oscar Piastri defending the current car setup, saying it's within the rules. However, under mounting pressure, the FIA changed its stance. Now, McLaren has to tweak their rear wing, especially the DRS flap, for tracks like Las Vegas that don't require much downforce. This adjustment has stirred quite the debate. Will it slow McLaren down enough to impact their performance? More importantly, can it give Red Bull an edge to secure the Drivers' Championship? Although the FIA confirmed the wing's flexibility was within the legal limit, they decided that changes were still necessary. To add to the drama, Piastri, during the press conference in Singapore, confidently stated there was nothing wrong with the car. But with the FIA's latest decision, McLaren must comply. Thankfully for them, the required modifications probably won't impact their performance in the next couple of races, since these tracks don't have many high-speed sections where the wing's flexibility would make a difference. Nevertheless, all eyes are on McLaren to see how they handle this last-minute curveball. However, Red Bull's recent victory could be a game-changer for the rest of the season, potentially boosting Verstappen's championship chances in the final two races. According to the FIA, their decision to ban the flexi wing was based on data from the Baku weekend. Yet the difference in top speed with and without the open DRS was just 16 km/h, the smallest gap observed among all teams. The FIA also noted that all deflection tests were passed and everything adhered to the regulations, meaning no further action is needed. The FIA is still reviewing the data and any new evidence from the Baku race, considering whether future rule changes are necessary. This is part of their routine process to ensure technical compliance, and they have the power to make regulatory adjustments during the season if needed. Meanwhile, McLaren's boss, Zak Brown, echoed Oscar Piastri's positive sentiment. Brown believes his engineers have found a brilliant solution that meets all tests, naturally making other teams anxious and pushing for changes. Brown emphasised that this competition between teams is a standard part of Formula One. He insisted there were no issues with McLaren's rear wing, praising his engineers for developing a high-performance component that passed all evaluations. The team knows everything about our race car and feels confident with it. Now that we're leading the championship, it's only natural for everyone to scrutinise our car and have mixed feelings. This is just how the game works. Our car has passed all tests, so this is standard for Formula One, involving smart engineering that the FIA approves of. Therefore, it's business as usual. However, during the Singapore press conference, many drivers raised concerns about McLaren's rear wing. Perez and Leclerc were particularly outspoken. A Red Bull driver didn't mince words, stating, yep, looks like it's out of the regulations and an illegal car. But yeah, I was very surprised with it. They've used that rear wing in a few races now without any issues cropping up. On our end, we need to concentrate on our own game. We've suffered a big hit in the championship, but they're not too far ahead yet. Honestly, I believed the flexing rear wing was against the rules, right? From what I can see, the wing clearly bends, but they've passed the inspections. So I guess the car is legal. I'm pretty shocked because I thought that wasn't allowed, yet here we are. So yeah, I'm as surprised as you all are. It's definitely a big advantage. The big question is whether this improvement is as crucial as Piastri claims it isn't, especially considering the massive progress his team made with the car. Even at high downforce tracks like Zandvoort, we saw an impressive performance from Norris, who won the race with a 21-second lead over Verstappen. McLaren stands out as the only team that introduced upgrades smoothly, which says a lot about the controversies surrounding their car. Before the FIA mandated changes to the rear wing, Red Bull's team principal Christian Horner was very clear that the rear wing design seen on the MCL38 at Baku wouldn't appear again for the rest of the season. He expressed his surprise if it were to reappear, as it set a new precedent. Horner emphasised that they didn't want to rush into a design that deforms like that. If deemed acceptable, everyone would follow suit. It's quite fascinating that the new restrictions won't kick in for the next few races, starting only with the Las Vegas event. This delay is notable because the upcoming track features a long straight like the one in Baku, which means McLaren's advantage over other teams will be significantly reduced. This situation especially benefits Red Bull. According to Helmut Marko, Red Bull's next move is to target the flexibility of the MCL38's front wing, a feature that has been ruled legal by the FIA in recent months. However, if Red Bull and Ferrari keep pushing this issue, we can expect more actions from the FIA. This potential crackdown would also affect Mercedes, as their front wing design is quite similar to McLaren's. Helmut Marko had more to say on the matter. We protested McLaren's rear wing 3 times, and today the FIA made the right call by deeming it inappropriate. Now it's time to talk about the front wings. We'll dive into that too. Some might think Red Bull's tactics are a bit sneaky, trying to clinch the championship in ways other than on the track. But we shouldn't forget that these seemingly small adjustments could give a big boost to their car, even if it's not completely above board. The FIA, despite Red Bull passing all the tests, now insists on allowing some flexibility in the wings. Like it or not, the Austrian team succeeded in their strategy. Ferrari also chimed in, showing their frustration with the FIA's inaction. Fred Vasseur of Ferrari expressed his concern, saying the FIA needs to step up and take responsibility. They have to handle this and we should be able to trust them. Though I'm not really complaining, it's frustrating, especially when recalling the Monza situation. We had 5 cars within 0.02 of a second of each other, and just that tiny gap can drop you from first or second place down to 5th or 6th. In Baku, we had 10 laps straight where cars were side by side into the first turn. You can imagine the frustration that builds up from that kind of competition. With all this in mind, do you think banning McLaren's flexible rear wing will even the playing field? And if it does, will the team from Woking lose its edge in the final 2 races, where every second really counts? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.